All right, doing another wallet review, a liquidity pool wallet review for one of my members. So what we got here, I went ahead and already imported the data, culled through it, made sure there was no duplicates, and just kind of went over the performance of it, and just kind of get a general idea. So here you can see on the total column, we'll kind of sort it here. Largest loss was, I'd say, like the first three rows here. Your Matic CRV, Matic Lido, Matic Link, just altcoin pools, like just like the trend I've been seeing, even like with vaults I manage, or help manage and consult on, the altcoin pools are just in drawdowns, and yeah, they pay a ton in yield, but the drawdowns are just going to outweigh the amount of yield you're going to earn on these. And also, people aren't that invested into alts right now. Most of the volume and most of the activity is in the blue chips, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yes, they don't provide as much yield, but you're not going to be in as much of a drawdown, and you can hedge Bitcoin and ETH pools, which is great if you need to. But okay, so we're looking here. So this is over the course of, it's kind of sorted here from June 1st through July 7th. And this doesn't take it into account current liquidity pools that are active right now. So this does not include that data. But just kind of a general look here. Total gain, you see right here in column I, minus, minus, is that right? Let me just take a look here. It's got to be right. Minus $80,991. And that's over the course of a month. So you can see how these altcoins can really, see, the way I look at altcoins are, it's a leveraged trade. It's a leveraged Bitcoin trade. As simple as that. Like, you're just leveraging up on Bitcoin, right? And the problem with altcoins, not only it's a leveraged trade, but if altcoins aren't in favor, like say Bitcoin is just dominating the market, the losses are even more magnified. And on top of that, say Bitcoin's upswing, right, rallies in the market, that could destroy alts even further, right? You could have losses in your altcoin pools as Bitcoin is going up. And then even worse, when Bitcoin draws down, it further pounds into those altcoins, right? So it's very difficult to be profitable with an altcoin only liquidity pool strategy during this time in mid 2023, right? Or even for the past year. So it's just very, very alt heavy. I know you've mentioned before that you're primarily in Matic, right, and bullish on Matic, so that's fine. So this could be, part of an overall portfolio strategy that I'm not seeing, right? So, you could kind of base that against that, right? And see what your net gains are, net losses are, right? So, but yeah, you're earning about 244% in yield. This is the yield you've earned, 21,571 in yield. Oh wait, let me change this date here. Didn't change that. So let's do that real quick. So was it June 1st? So that should help. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so you're earning 761% in yield. That's actually pretty impressive. You must be very tight in your liquidity pools. But you can see like the impermanent loss that's being taken here, right? Over time, if you keep them, so okay. So I'm kind of getting an idea of like the strategy here, right? I'm assuming that you're very tight in your altcoin pools. So given enough time, you'll overcome this impermanent loss, right? Especially if you're generating this much in yield, 761%. That's actually pretty good, right? So if you're having a long time horizon and not worried about the drawdowns in the short term, this could work out pretty well, right? Farming these tokens, just compounding and earning and farming, but also just be mindful on the rebalances, right? Be mindful of the impermanent loss that's being locked in, right? Because say as the altcoins draw down, you're gonna have to rebalance. But if you're just unstaking and then rebalancing 50-50 and going tight again, eventually there's going to be an upswing in the market, right? And you want to just make sure you're prepared for that upswing, right? I see there's a lot of liquidity pools in the current pool. I'm not going to show it here. I don't want to show it on the video, but I see the current. There's several altcoin pools right now that are currently active. Just as long as you're aware that eventually the market's going to turn and altcoins will have their day. So as long as you're on top of it and prepared for that upswing, right, to where when it happens, you understand that, okay, we need to widen out on the top end of the range so we don't get blown out of our strikes too early on the upswings, right? Because then if that's not taken into account as the market is rallying and you're chasing it on the way up, it's kind of like you're buying the tops, right? You keep buying the top. And then if you take that into account, what's going on right now, what you're doing is selling the bottom. And then on the upswing, you're going to be buying the top. So you can see like that divergence and the losses just on the delta exposure alone will be very high. And then the permanent loss will just compound, right? So this has only been a month, right? Now, say if the prices of alts and the alts kind of just hover around this area for like, hell, like you could earn this loss in yield over the course of like the next 4 months, right? And you would be break even, right? So there needs to be a plan in place, right? What are you doing with the yield? Are you compounding it? Are you taking it and parking it to the side, or being reinvested in something else, right? So I don't know the whole strategy here, but as long as if you have a long time horizon here on this strategy, it can work, right? It's going to be a very volatile one. Just understand that. And just understand that this is a shit ton of yield, right? So I don't know how tight your pools are, and they got to be very tight. I'm assuming with that type of yield in this market with altcoins, because right now, like, altcoins aren't really producing a lot of yield, with conservative ranges, right? I've farmed earlier this year, like when altcoins had their run, especially Matrix CRV. I was in that pool, and I was seeing like 300% APR in a wide, I would say it was about a 50-cent range in that pool. So it was like $1 to $1.50 Matic to CRV or something, right? Or CRV to Matic. I can't remember off the top of my head, but in that wide range, like a 50% wide range, it was still seeing 300% APR. And that's just because of the volume, right? The real yield is created by real volume. And that was generating so much yield. But once that dropped off, it just like kind of died out, right? And but yeah, I think that's kind of like all I got for that, right? And just kind of a basic analysis, right? And just showing you, this is what's going on. This is what you need to do. If you stick with the plan and you're okay with taking these drawdowns, then that's fine, and work that into the plan and keep generating the yields. But from what I'm seeing here is like you're doing a tight pool farming strategy where you're just generating as much yield as possible. And then also just make sure those pools get managed before they get out of range, right? You want to consistently, generate yields. Like it has to be. It can't go like out of range, and then be out of range for days, right? Because that's a lot of loss yield, right? As the market is priced outside of your range, right? So it's very important to just be on top of it, right? On top of the farming and the managing, right? And be ready to manage when price gets near out of range, right? And then if you want to talk about how to, like, if you're looking at the impermanent loss and you're like, oh man, this is kind of this is too much impermanent loss, right? This 36,000, that's just saying that someone just hodled the tokens, right? And just held them in their wallet for the past month, would have lost. Well, since this whole portfolio is in a loss, they would have lost $36,191 less than this LP strategy. But long term, with this amount of yield being generated, that's pretty impressive. But over time, as long as price stays around this area, right, and you're not locking in too much impermanent loss, right, it's kind of like an accordion effect, right? Price consistently draws down. You need to get wider, and then get tighter. But anyways, I'm gonna keep this video kind of short, so it's already 10 minutes long. Hopefully that helps, and see you on the next one.